Entrepreneurship is the most lonely thing you'll ever do in your entire life. It'll kill you, because it almost killed me. But the reason you need to listen to this video, especially if you call yourself an entrepreneur, if you call yourself a business owner, if you feel like you just started to make a little bit of money, is if you don't take this advice, you'll fall apart. Even if you think you won't, you will, because I did. And the funniest thing is, it's not just about business, making money or whatever. It's that I don't even feel like I'm able to be loved. I feel unlovable. I feel like no one wants to be with me, because the reality is nobody does want to be with me. This story doesn't just start here. We have to go back a few years for you to fully understand the gravity of the situation. In high school, even though a lot of people say it doesn't matter, I think it fundamentally builds you into the person you're going to become in the real world. It amplifies you. And in high school, I just wanted to be popular. I wanted the girls to want to be with me, and I wanted the guys to want to be me. I wasn't good at athletics. I wasn't charming. I didn't really have much of a personality. I made a bunch of dick jokes, and I was really awkward, and it kind of smelled bad. And I spent all my money on nice clothes and cologne eventually, but the one thing I had going for me was the fact that I knew that if I went into advanced classes and I got ahead, and I created this layer of separation between me and the average person in my grade, that I would have a leg up. And even if somebody was better at me in sports, I knew for a fact that by the end of it, when we graduated, I could go to a school like Cornell, and I could be able to tell everyone, hey, look, go fuck yourself. I'm better than all of you. Or at least that's what I thought. I thought by creating this level of separation, I was getting ahead somehow. And I think that there's validity to that. What I'm talking about specifically is that it creates a trait, an overconfidence. Because a lot of people, I'd walk through the halls in high school, and people would be like, oh, you're just a smart kid. You're one of the smart kids. And so around the age of 17, I met this guy. His name's John Senecal. He's today one of my best friends. And he taught me what business was. Up until this point, I thought that if you were a business owner, or if you were going to study business in college, you were kind of a loser. You weren't a smart kid. You weren't an advanced kid. You were one of the kids who didn't really have an option. You had no ability to go anywhere with your life, and so you decided to get a business major, a generic business major, open a little business, and you would just basically be in the rat race. That's kind of what I thought. Was I wrong? Because my biggest thing that I wanted to do was be the guy that every other guy wanted to be, and be the guy that every other girl wanted to be with, and I never had a way to do that. Obviously, being smart in school kind of made me this nerdy, awkward kid. No one really wanted to be around me, but I noticed one thing. People like guys with money. All the popular kids in my high school, their parents had money. Their parents had connections. Their parents owned nice cars. Their parents drove nice cars. Their parents had a lot of more affluence than my family did. So I knew that the key to get to this life, this ultimate destination, was simply to have money and to be ripped. So I'd spend every day in the gym, and I'd start listening to podcasts. I'd start learning about money. Learning from these gurus online who would teach you how to be millionaires in 90 days. And I'm 17 years old, one of the most impressionable ages that I could possibly be, learning from these people, and holy shit, I was drinking Kool-Aid left and right, and I thought for a fact that I was gonna make $1 million in 100 days. That was a literal thing that I did when I was 17 years old. And so I told my dad I was gonna make $1 million, and here's my plan, and I'm gonna own rehabbed real estate and own all these businesses and have all these streams of income. I was regurgitating all the things that the guys online told me, and it kind of made sense to me. Even if it didn't make sense, I was like, fuck it, I'll figure it out. It doesn't matter. I went to school, and for the first time, I started to become popular my senior year of high school. I went to college, and I kind of applied the same mindset. During that year when I was 17, just before I got to college, I did meet all these big celebrity names on my podcast. Alpha M, the guy who wrote the Duck song, a bunch of other people that you've definitely learned from, heard from, and seen the face of. I was the guy who was now having these people on my podcast. I had a little stock trading business. I was making a couple $100s a day here and there. Had a cryptocurrency that made $5.3 million on paper in 3 days. And it was a rug pull. We made no money. The co-founder took all the money and ran. And through this process, I was building this confidence, becoming somebody different. But there's this lesson that I want to talk about, which is the whole reason I'm making this video, is that business teaches you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time around. And it teaches you it in a negative way. It doesn't say, hey, look, be very selective in a good way to be around people who are going to build you up. It says, get rid of everybody in your life who aren't the 5 best people for you. Architect your life so that you're around 5 solid fucking people who want everything and have everything you've ever wanted. And I'm like, what the fuck? So that means cut out your family, cut out your friends, cut out every single person who doesn't serve your fucking mission. So I was like, okay, if that's what I need to do to be successful, if that's what I need to do to become the guy that all the girls want to be with and all the guys want to be, let's fucking do it. So I went through my contact list, blocked every single person who I didn't even give a fuck about, blocked my family, told my family to their face, you're not successful. Told my mom she's not successful. Told my dad he's not successful. Told my friends, you can't be around me. You're not qualified to be in my life. You're a 5-minute friend. You're not a 5-hour or 5-day friend. You're a 5-minute friend. I sat them all in my living room, said, we're done. Cut everyone out of my life. Went to college, met a bunch of new people, started to become this popular guy, started to have this facade of, I'm the cool guy, I'm the guy with 3 companies running them. I didn't even fucking make $1 until I was almost 19 years old. But I was pretending, I was elaborate scheming, all this stuff. I didn't want to leave my room in college without 3 people saying my name, saying, hi Alex, what's up? I didn't even want to know anybody. I wanted everybody to know who I was because one day my dad told me, Alex, when you go to college, you can be whoever you want to be. It's one of the best quotes that I'd ever heard in my life, and I applied it to this business thing. This business taught me, if you want to be successful in business, if you want to make millions of dollars in 90 days, you got to be very selective around who you're with. So I'm like, fuck it, cut everyone out. If you're not the top 10% of the world, you're not going to be in my life. So who was actually in my life? Nobody. Because there was nobody who was my age doing anything that I thought that was actually valuable. And even the people that were close, the people that were reading books like Meditations by Marcus Aurelius and all these other things that I thought were valuable, you didn't have everything that I wanted. But I didn't even have everything that I wanted, so I wasn't even qualified to be in my own life. And I didn't feel the isolation for a couple of years, but I met this beautiful girl in college, my first year around it. I was, at the time, not in love with her, because I didn't think she was qualified to be in my life, and I was constantly looking for this way out, this new way, the bigger, better deal, bigger, hotter women. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, I can do whatever I want. I own the world. Dude, can I be honest with you? This girl, if I sat her in front of you, your jaw would drop. This girl was drop dead gorgeous. There was nothing wrong. Flawless. Personality, impeccable. Character, impeccable. The nicest woman you've ever met in your entire life. And if you sat in front of her, you would fall in love with her in 2 seconds, because I fucking did. But I denied myself the ability to be in love with this girl because I was so dead set on this concept of be selective with who you're going to be around and cut everyone else out. So I pushed her out of my life 26 times my freshman year. All of those other people I was with in college, cut them all out too. My dad would always say, you're going to be alone. And I'd be like, yeah, guess what? Go fuck yourself. I don't care. And it really got to a halt, right? I leave college. I go back to my small little town in New York with less than 1,000 people in it. And I'm hanging out. And I kicked this girl out of my life. I kicked all my friends out of my life, my family and everything. I'm hanging out on the 3rd floor of my dad's house. And my first month in real business, I made $10,000. It was insane. It was insane. I'm not even joking. It was insane. Who was I there to celebrate it with? Nobody. So to cover that up, I would go to bars. I would drive 1.5 hours every single weekend to a random college town to go to a bar and just start talking to random strangers, thinking that those people in those bars were closer to me than my real friends. I'd be like, oh my God, we had a great conversation. We're best friends. They don't even fucking remember me from the next morning. But I have no one in my life anymore. I'm 18 years old with nothing. That girl that I was falling in love with, she gave up on me. But now I started to realize, like, holy shit, this business thing, it was wrong. I'm actually so in love with that girl. I would give up my entire life, everything that I had to be with that girl. To this day, I'm 21 now. That's 3 years from the time I was 18 when I met her. I would do the same thing. If she called my phone rang right now, I would drop everything to be with her. I'm in love with her. And I'm not a delusional thing. It was just at the time, I was not in a mindset where I was like able to be with her or anybody. And that's the thing, that's the trap that you fall into if you get into this entrepreneurship rat race, is you focus and isolate and get involved with the winner arc and go lone wolf and lone survivor and just kill it, everything in your way, and just burn it all down in complete domination. And it's stupid, dude. Because when people say that entrepreneurship is a lonely journey, it comes out of their mouth in 2 seconds. But it will hit you in the fucking head in 2 years. With 2 years of fucking pain. You know what it's like to go to the gym alone, to come home alone, to be in a house alone for fucking years on end? Like, you start to wonder, does anyone ever fucking want to be with me? Does anyone love me? Does anyone even care about me? Like, dude, I got abs, I got fucking muscles, I got money in the bank account. And people in entrepreneurship will tell you that, like Andy Elliott, burn the bridges, burn the boats, burn it all to the fucking ground. It's like, dude, what the fuck? I was the kid in high school who was like, I just want to be popular. I just want to be liked. I just want to be loved. I want to be held by somebody who loves me. Not because they want to use me for something, not because they want something from me, not because whatever. It creates this weird dynamic with humans, entrepreneurship does.